Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to show you how to install Artix Linux with the full disk encryption. So if you don't know what Artix Linux is, it's basically Arch without systemd. As you can see here, the art of Linux, simple, fast, systemd free. So Artix Linux offers some other init systems you can try or use. Just go to the website artixlinux.org and download the ISO that you want to use. You have the base system. You have one with some desktop environments. We have Cinnamon, LXDE, Plasma, XFCE. You can try downloading one of these. As you can see, we have 4 init systems for each one. As you can see, if we try XFCE, we have dinit, OpenRC, runit, S6. For this install, I'm going to try installing Artix with the dinit. Okay, because I'm not going to try run it because I already use Void Linux, and you can try OpenRC or S6. It's basically the same thing. Okay, I'm going to try this in a virtual machine. So for you, just download the ISO. I can show you. I already did this. Download the ISO. Okay, you can download it and put it in a flash drive. Okay, let's get rid of this and go to the VM. So I'm going to create a new virtual machine, Artix, and I'm going to choose Arch. Give it to space, just 10 gigs, it's enough. I'll call it Artix. I'm going to install this for UEFI, and let me just go do this. We want to boot from the CD-ROM first, and going to remove the tablet because we don't have a tablet in here. I'm going to, for video, I'm going to choose QXL. Okay, and begin installation. If you're doing this on a bare metal, you don't need to do any of these steps. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this and maybe hide the bar, resize this a little bit. Okay. I'm going to change the keyboard because I don't use a US keyboard, I use a French layout. Okay, I'm going to change the resolution so we can have the resolution correct, 1920 by 1080. Okay, hit it one more time and go to CD DVD ISO and boot from that. Let me just go full screen, get rid of the mouse pointer. Okay, we are booting, and okay, you have to log in as root, and the password is just Artix. Okay, it didn't log me in. Let me try that one more time. Artix. Yeah, I'm putting the password wrong. Artix. Okay, now we logged in. I'm going to make the font a bit big. Just use Pacman and install Terminus font dash font, just so we can see better. Okay, yes. And use the command set font and dash 128N. Yeah, it's big enough. Okay, now let's start the installation. Let's do cfdisk to partition the drive. I'm going to use GPT and new, and let's give it, this is for the EFI partition. Going to give it 128 megs, and you can give it more if you want, and type its EFI system, and the rest I'm going to leave it for the root partition. You can create a swap now or you can do it later, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to write the changes, type yes and quit. Okay, if I do lsblk, as you can see, we have two partitions, VDA1 and VDA2. In your case it might be SDA1 or SDA2. Okay, I'm going to make the EFI partition kfs dot fat dash f32 and slash dev VDA1. Okay, we're gonna format it as fat. Okay, now let's go to the second partition. I'm going, because we want to encrypt this partition, I'm gonna type crypt setup lux and format, and the partition VDA2. It's going to ask you to type yes, capital yes, and type that, and the passphrase, I'm going to type passphrase and repeat that passphrase. Okay, that's done. Now let's open that encrypted device. If I do lsblk, as you can see, let's open that. I'm gonna do crypt setup and open slash dev VDA2, and I'm gonna call it alpha. You can call it whatever you want. This is just a name. Alpha is just a name. You can call it Artix or Crypt or whatever. You can call it alpha. And I'm going to ask us for our passphrase. I'm going to type my passphrase. It's going to open that device. If I do lsblk again, as you can see, I have VDA and under alpha. Okay, and now we need to make a file system, mkfs.ext4 and dev mapper and alpha. We're making the file system. Okay, that's good. Now let's mount our partitions. I'm going to do mount slash dev mapper and alpha slash mnt. Hit enter. So now I'm going to make a directory called boot under the mnt, so we can mount our EFI partition in there. Call it boot and mount slash dev VDA1 /mnt, no, not /home /mnt boot. Okay, if I do lsblk again, as you can see, we got /mnt/boot and /mnt. So now I'm going to install the base system. To do that, we need to do base strap and -e/mnt, and going to install base and base -devel and Linux. In your case, you can do Linux. I'm going to install the LTS kernel. I'm going to do Linux-firmware, and also grub the bootloader and network manager, and also network manager -dinit. Okay, because we're installing for dinit. If you're using used OpenRC, just type OpenRC or S6, okay, or run it. Okay, and we're also going to install dinit, of course, and I'm going to install Vim text editor, and of course we need to install elogin -dinit, and also we need to install LVM2 and LVM2-dinit, and of course we want to install crypt setup. And as we're installing for EFI, so I'm going to do EFI boot mgr. Okay, I think that's it. Also, I'm going to add one more package, which is bash-completion. Okay, I think that's it. Let's hit enter. Okay, something is not found. Target not found. Target not found. Oh yeah, I forgot. I made a couple of mistakes. Login. Yeah, I forgot D and firmware. Okay, let's see now. Yeah, this firmware thing is, yeah, delete the E. Okay, and just hit enter for the first option. Okay, we're going to hit yes. Okay, it's gonna take a little bit of time to download and install, so I'll be back when this thing finish. Okay. Okay, the installation and the download is finished. So now let's generate our FS tab. We're going to do FS tab gen -U and /mnt. Going to output that to /mnt etc and FS tab. Hit enter, and now let's enter our root environment, or going to do Artix /root and /mnt. Okay, let's clean that and do pacman -sy just so we can synchronize our packages. So now let's do time zone. Let's do ln. We're going to link symlink slash not etc but user share and zone info slash, we're gonna choose your continent or your zone. In my case it's Africa and Casablanca, and going to do that, link that to /etc and local time, and let's synchronize the clock and HW clock and -- system to HC. Okay, that's good. Now let's configure our locals /etc local -.gen and choose your local. In this case I'm going to choose English US. Okay, it's this one, and uncomment that and maybe copy this so we can put it in a file and save and exit and do local and -gen, hit enter. It's going to generate our local. And let's put that in a file and local.conf and do lang equals, and we paste en_us.utf-8 and save that, exit. And now I'm going to do a host name, give this machine a host name. To do that, just add a host name to this file called hostname in /etc/hostname. Just edit that and give it a name. In my case I'm going to give it Artix. Give it whatever you want. Okay, let's edit the /etc hosts. So okay, I'm going to type these IP addresses for the IPv4 and IPv6. Okay, 127.0.0.1 and local host and ::1 for the IPv6 local host and 127.0.1.1 and our hostname Artix, which is artix.local domain and Artix again, repeat our hostname. Okay, save and exit. Okay, that's good. Because I have a French keyboard, I have to do this. If you have another type of layout of keyboard, you can do this. I'm going to put it in vconsole conf.conf. I'm going to put keymap equals fr and going to make the font, change the font to term-d and 24b and save that and exit. And next we need to, what we can do is just enable the network manager. to do that, just do dinit and ctl enable network, capital N network, and capital M manager. Okay, it says connection to the socket is no file or directory. As long as you installed network manager -dinit, you can leave it until you reboot and enable it. That's what I'm going to do. And next we're going to change the password for root, or give it a password, just password root, and give it a password, repeat the password. Okay, now you can create a user. I'm going to user add and -mg, we add it to the group wheel and the name of the user. In my case it's sh. So now we added that user. Now we need to give it a password and pass wd and the user and give it the password, repeat the password. Okay, we need to edit the vi sudo file to give this user root permissions, so we can type sudo something and it will execute commands and do stuff. Okay, let's do editor equals vim and vi sudo. Okay, and go down. So to do that, you need to uncomment this one %wheel all and all column all to allow a member of group wheel to execute any command. In my case, I'm going to uncomment this second one so I don't have to type my password each time. So, and save and exit. Okay, clean the console. Now we need to do more things. Okay, this next step is for auto login, so you can auto login with your user account. So if you don't want to do that, you can skip this, but I don't want to type 2 passwords each time I'm booting the machine, so I want to type just the passphrase for decrypting the drive. That's it, and log in automatically. So what you can do is just go to, edit this file called in the etc dinit or openrc or run it, whatever any system you install this with. So I'm going to edit this tty1 config. I'm going to go after dash no clear and type dash auto log in and type the user account, the username for the user that you want to auto log in. In my case it's sh. Okay, and save this and exit. Okay, next we're going to add some stuff to our mk init cpio config. So /etc mk init cpio config and go down to hooks. Yeah, this line over here. I'm going to add before file system, add lvm2 and space. Before the keyboard, I'm going to add, or after keyboard, I'm going to add encrypt. Okay, make sure you type that correctly and save and exit. Okay, now we need to do mk init cpio -p and Linux. In your case it's Linux because you installed the Linux kernel. In my case I installed the LTS kernel, so I'm going to do that -LTS. Okay, and if you don't see any error, that means you're okay. If you see errors, you just go fix it. Yeah, as you can see, we have an error because of the font. You couldn't find the font. In this case, I'm just going to install it and redo it again. Okay, as you can see, I have one error. That's because when we changed the root, when we changed to the new installed system, I didn't have my font installed, so I'm going to do pacman -s and terminus -font and just install it really quickly. And redo the mkinit cpio-p linux-lts. Redo it again, and the error will disappear. Okay, now it's the image is generated successfully. Now we need to configure our bootloader. In this case it's grub, so let's edit the grub. It's in /etc default grub. Okay, I'm going to keep the timeout to 5 seconds and maybe go down here. We need to, let me just quit out of this first. We need to know our device UUID. So to do that, you just type block ID and -s and UUID, just to use the -o and value and /dev the device and VDA1 or VDA2, in this case VDA2. Okay, that's the UUID. Okay, let's go to the grub config file, and I'm going to put that information in here in this config. So to get that information, I'm going to do just colon R and going to read from block ID. Okay, as you can see, we have that information in here. I have nothing to do with the, I'm not going to use this VDA1 because that's the EFI one. So all we need is /dev mapper and the unencrypted partition, and this one, the SR0, that's just the DVD, we don't need that, and we need this UUID. Let me just get the mouse pointer. We need this UUID and this one, the encrypted one and the unencrypted one. Okay, that's all I need. So let's go to, I'm going to copy this one first. Okay, copy this. Okay, let's go to the end of this line, and after quite, I'm going to type crypt device and equal to UUID equal, and we paste the UUID that we copied, and colon, and you can call it whatever you want. As you can see, mount it to alpha, so I'm calling it alpha, and space, and root equals UUID, and equals, we need to copy the other UUID. In this case it's, okay, copy this one. Okay, let's copy this one, select it first and copy it. Let's go to the end and paste it. Okay, and that's it. Okay, and I'm going to do just one more thing. So because this is a virtual machine, so I have to do this so I can get the resolution correct. So you don't have to do this if you're using this on bare metal. So I'm going to do 1920 by 1080. Okay, and let me just delete these lines because we're finished with that. Okay, make sure that you have everything correct, and let's go to here. As you can see, let me just get the mouse pointer and grab enable crypt disk. We need to uncomment this one. Okay, and one more thing I'm going to do for this VM is just so I can get grab resolution. You don't need to do this, 1920 by 1080. Okay, and save this file. Now we need to install grub. So because this is a UEFI system, so I'm going to do grub install and -- target. If you are installing it for legacy BIOS, you just need to do /dev VDA or SDA. Okay, not VDA1 or SDA1, VDA or SDA. That's it, and hit enter. That's it. And in this case, because I'm installing it for EFI, so I'm going to do target and equal x86_64 -EFI and -EFI -directory. I'm going to tell it where that EFI directory is. It's in /boot. Okay, and space --boot bootloader -ID equals grub. Okay, make sure that you type everything correctly and hit enter. Okay, grub is installed, no errors reported. So now let's generate or make the config file for grub. So grub mkconfig -o and /boot grub and grub.cfg. Okay, and hit enter. It's going to generate that grub config. Okay, now the configuration and everything is finished. Now let's exit our system and reboot. You can unmount it, but just reboot. Okay, I'm going to hit enter and hopefully this will boot and we have an encrypted system. Okay, let me just prepare to go full screen. Okay, it's booting and go full screen. Okay, we have the grub bootloader, so I'm going to hit enter and it's going to ask us for our passphrase. Okay, now let's type our passphrase. Type my passphrase. Okay, it's booting now. That means we made everything went correctly, and it's auto login. Okay, it did that. So now let's do sudo pacman -sy and install neofetch and htop. Okay, let's hit enter. Yes, we forgot to enable network manager. Let's do that right now. Just do sudo dinit ctl enable and capital N network and capital M manager. Okay, as you can see, service network manager has been enabled and service network manager started. Okay, now let's do sudo pacman -sy neofetch and htop. As you can see, we have internet. Yes, we want to install those packages. Okay, now let's do neofetch. Okay, that's cool, and do htop. Okay, let me just do lsblk. As you can see, we have our encrypted partition, decrypted partition, not encrypted. And we have the name that I gave it. So I think that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.